Hey, welcome everyone. It's Brian from Captain Savage Aquatics. Just doing a quick live stream before I have to pick my son up from school. So let's do this. Gonna give it a couple minutes for everyone to get in here. Tighten up my mic. Mic. Yep, that looks good. Twitter. Over here. Log in and tweet. Really? Captain Savage. Log in. Tweet. All done. Open a new window. Log in. Timeline. I'm sharing the room. Hello. I'm just waiting for people to roll in, so don't mind me. Hey, let's do that. Google Plus. Say something if you're hiding out, so I know you're here in the stream. Yo. Hello. Why is this doing this? Put this up and turn the game. Can you hear me now? Hello. Share it again. Google Plus. Control V. Chat. LA. Post. Hey, if you're in here, let me know. Type something in the chat. Don't mind me, like I said, I'm sharing. I meant to share before I started the live stream. It's going to be a very quick live stream. Figure I'll leave here at my, to pick up my son. For school around 2:20. Because, I have to be there by 2:50. That'll give me time to be there 15 minutes early. Right back to some comments that I know I got. Stuff like that. Toggle timestamps. Top chat. So what is up with everyone today? So you know what? I'm just gonna get started since I don't have much time. So today, what I've done so far in my fish pit, my apartment, I set up a couple new sponges for these two tanks. They were in there. I got the line running out. I just got to set up the new air compressor thing. I can't remember what the heck is it called. The air pump for these tanks, because all the tanks in the apartment, I'm going to see if I can't run off the one air pump one of my subscribers sent to me, which is cool. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Okay. Yep. There we go. Just trying to get used to this. Let's see. Can I do any mute? I'm still learning this YouTube thing. Streaming through YouTube itself. Okay, yeah. Get over here. No. I'll be right back. Lay down. Huh? Sorry about that. Miss Molly Dolly wants to be a pain in the butt and give me be a pain. Yeah, nice to see you, the pessimist and optimist. Let me know how the volume is coming in. I'm not sure because all I see is two green dots moving, and I figure with the mic being this close to my mouth, it should be coming in a little bit better. But if it's coming in like I'm too close, let me know. I'm just gonna do this. Spot on. Oh, okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Back to the keyboard. Well, today's was my day off, so I know you just got in, so I have to pick my son up at a certain point. So around like 2:15, I'll be leaving, at latest 2:20, which will give me more than enough time. So let me just close that out. So yeah, once I get that air pump installed, I probably put it up top, and then I'll be able to feed all the lines for my whole place off the one air pump. What's up, HE Aqua? Long time no see. How you doing, buddy? Glad to have you. I checked out the PetSmart sales on Black Friday yesterday when I went up there to take my son out because we haven't gone out in an extremely long time. I checked it out. They weren't really having much of a sale on anything. No dollar per gallon sale, nothing. Not even the fish were on sale. They had some of them, but the more expensive fish where you buy one and get one half off type of thing, or buy two and get the third half off for free. But it wasn't worth it because it was like you'd spend $30 to get a free fish. But just good to know in the future. But of course, PetSmart, for anyone that knows me, is my local fish store to me because it's the only one within an hour's drive of me. Now, I have gone over to Burlington, Vermont before, which is like an hour and a half round trip, one way, or an hour and 15-minute one way. And great fish store. That reminds me, I got to contact that guy back, the owner back, and make sure it's okay if I come in and like interview him or see if I can show up before or after hours to tour his fish store, or if it's okay during the day on my day off. HE Aqua says, yeah, I hit the pet stores during the weekend. No good sales here either. Yeah. I just thought maybe the tanks would even at least be like 10 or 20% marked down. What's up, El Tropico? Jason, how you doing, buddy? I keep forgetting to instant message you or Instagram, do the PM through Instagram to see how you've been. I'm sure you're busy. I know I am. It's starting to slow down, though. One more big holiday to get through Christmas and stuff like that. So maybe they'll have some deals at the local pet store here. So like I said, the place over in Burlington, Vermont, I'm going to go back, or I got the guy's cell phone number. Going to call him, make sure it's cool to do a store tour there at some point, hopefully within the next week or so. The pessimistic optimist says, my Bristol is still leaving the cucumber and feeding tablets alone. Worried there's not enough algae in the tank for him. My name's Steve, if that's easier. Okay, Steve. No, it's fine. Fish Tropic says, what's going on in the fish room? Just got some new Aquaneat sponge filters in that I ordered like a couple months ago. Finally, they came in. So I got a 4-pack of those. They're good up to a 20-gallon tank, each filter. And when they first came in, I put 2 in my 75-gallon, but I left the other media in there as the beneficial bacteria right near them until those get enough, beneficial bacteria in them. But they seem to be doing a lot better job. The bubbler up at the top for the Aquaneat ones. Let's close that. Sorry. Is actually giving enough water movement in the 75 where the whole top of the 75 won't be covered over in duckweed. So that's a good thing. I got shrimp galore up the ears. I've been last night I didn't stream. I was going to, but I was too tired. I was exhausted. I didn't get home with my son till 10 o'clock, and then I had to get him ready for bed. And someone rear-ended me this past last Tuesday or whatever, while I was going up to Plattsburgh to do some errands. So my neck's been a little messed up. So I've been on the good old muscle relaxers and steroids to help with the inflammation. So I haven't been sleeping all that well. So last night was the first night I could actually get a good rest. But enough about that. Let's see. Fish Tropic says, Optimus, your pleco isn't eating. HE Aqua says, yeah, I found that not all plecos eat what you want them to. Then I eventually don't see them around anymore. Well, from my experience, plecos love to hide. Every tank I have a pleco in, I make sure there's at least a small piece of wood that they can munch on if they want to. I know not all eat wood. Some are carnivores. The bottom feeders. They'll just eat whatever gets to the bottom. They'll eat algae. It's whatever's there available in the tank. That's why I feed with a couple different products on the same tank through the day. And I feed like every other day. Unless it's the shrimp tank, I feed every 3 days. And I kind of go heavy with the one because I know I just added that, the Bacter AE or whatever for shrimp to add, more stuff, beneficial food for them into the shrimp tanks. So that's usually good for about a week. And I think they said a gram of that is good for 100 liters. What's 100 liters? 50 gallons worth of water, I think. So let's see. He's eating, but only algae. Then you know what you can get him. You said your name was Steve, if I remember correctly. Get them some of the strips from Omega 1, the algae strips, where you put it in a clip. It's like a cucumber, but it has a lot of other things in there, and it's like the green seaweed and stuff like that. That'll work. I always feed that once a week to any tanks with plecos, especially my African cichlids, because the protein's a lot less. There's more algae or plant-based products for them to eat. He's eating, but only algae. Fish Tropic says, well, he probably nibble on the water. Yep. How many plecos in the tank? Oh, you were asking Steve, I think. How big is the tank? 125. Leotis temp is 25, so 25 Celsius. I don't know what 25 Celsius is offhand. I can't remember the conversion. Let's see. I got a couple other heaters in that I were on back order from China specials, but I've used them before and I've never had problems with it because it has the auto shut off. So if for some reason I'm draining my tank and I left it on and I drain it to like 10 or 20%, the thing won't pop. If it hits cold water, it'll sense that it's really hot and automatically shut itself off until it cools down. And then usually by then I have already replaced all the water back into the tank. Anyways, Fish Tropic says where there's only one. I got wood in there. Yep, 78. The pessimistic optimist. There's wood in the tank. Yeah, let's give them other plants. If you have any live plants, put them in there. Especially if you got tanks with like high lighting where you got an excess of algae in them, or there's algae growing on the leaves. Like, no joke, I put the super red plecos and the chocolate plecos in the 75 gallon from this tote behind me, and my whole tank looked pretty dingy. The 3 walls, the 2 side walls, and the back wall were all algae covered, and then all the plants were algae covered. I woke up the next morning, all the algae was off the plants, and all the algae all around the tank was gone overnight, with adding 8 or 12 plecos, ranging from 1.5 inches up to 4 or 5 inches in length. So, boy, they hammered that tank. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. Yep, I've seen plecos, depending on the type, they'll swim upside down near the water surface, and they'll gulp at the surface when I put floating pellets in there or flake food for them. Plecos I've seen do all crazy type of things. Fish Tropic says I check for internal parasites. Yep, definitely. But you, Steve, if I remember correctly, you said you only got that pleco about a week ago, or maybe a little over a week. Sometimes when those new fish come in, they don't eat right away. You know what I mean? Because they're still adjusting to the tank. Or you don't think they're eating, but they are. That's right. The tank is full of plants. That's good. Well, plants can hide them pretty well. Depending on the coloring, you might not see them. And just like Bob Steenfot said, he puts plecos in tanks that are planted, and then he never sees them until he starts moving things around, or he cleans them, and then he finds them. So most of his plecos hide all the time. Local small pet shop. Yeah, Cappy's right. Right about what? I've said a lot of stuff. Excuse me. So there's only 3 here. If there's more than 3 people in the stream, please let me know. I'm going to put this back to live chat. Just because. Yep, just like Fish Tropic says, I personally quarantine everything. I actually set up the 10-gallon on this rack, my quarantine tank, and that is now a fish tank set up. All I'm using for a quarantine tank is like an 18-gallon tote with water. It doesn't matter if I can see in it or not. I just know when any new fish come in, they go through the 3. I have levamisole, I use General Cure, I use erythromycin, and there was one other. So I do like 4, maybe Icex or something if they're cold. But normally, Icex will be done later. Because if it's smaller stuff, they're only going in a 10 or 20-gallon tank anyways, so I can just retreat the tank. He's keeping the rocks super clean? Then you're good, man. If he's keeping the rocks super clean, that means he's getting enough. So there is no problem. Get some kanamycin. Okay. So that's what I usually treat with products, the 3-way. Levamisole, definitely. That'll kill pretty much any internal worms, tapeworms, all that stuff. The General Cure, erythromycin, Icex. So yeah, 4. Yeah, exactly. It will treat you gram-negative. That's right. Yep. Isn't levamisole for gram-negative, Fish Tropic? The pessimistic optimist says, "Thanks for the help." Bacteria is a bigger problem than people think. Yep. Gotcha. Believe it or not, I used to use Melifix a long time ago, and honestly, I never had any problems. When the fish would fight sometimes or nip at each other, where they just get a little scratch and you could see the scale missing. I just throw Melifix in it because it's got the aloe in it, and it seemed to always take care of that stuff. But lately, I've just been using this stuff. Anytime I know I like Safe, I like the Seachem products, but I like this, the Stress Coat Plus, because it's got the aloe in there and all that. Even though my water's pretty safe, lately, just to be safe, I add this anyways when I know my well water, because this whole town is on like 3 large wells, so I know it's okay. But once in a great while, they do add chlorine, but that's only if they see the numbers of bacteria or whatever are getting really high. Normally this time of year it's not bad because it's the winter, but hey, it is what it is. I don't drink the water coming out of the faucet anyways. I filter it. Let's see. Some of your meds are hard to get in the UK. Levamisole, I don't know about Levamisole. I know they're local. I can just do a Google search. See, I got my pesticide applicators license through Massachusetts when I used to landscape, and I've kept up on it. So I'm still good. And I'd go to the trainings every once in a while. So if they ever wanted my pesticide applicators license, it's like I pay $50 for the year or $25 a year to auto renew it. And then I write any products I've been using down for pesticides. And that's it. Even if it's for my own personal use. Yeah. I wouldn't use Levamisole for treating gram-positive, more internal parasites that mostly lead to gram-negative bacteria. Cano, when doing this, get a 5-gallon tank. Keep the water clean. Gotcha. All right. I'll check out that other one, Jason. I'm all about, I'd rather treat everything just to be safe. Well, what's it going to hurt? I just don't want to medicate the water so much that all the different medications interact and there's a bad thing that happens in the tank. That's my biggest fear. Let's see. What else is going on in the fish room? I moved some shrimp into these guppy tanks. The 3-gallon I ended up adding about 5 or 10 more red cherry shrimp into this little 3.5-gallon or 3-gallon tank. I got small heaters for these 2 tanks right here, because these are just running at whatever the temperature is in the room currently, which is 68 degrees. So that's too cold for any. I think shrimp can do it, but I want to acclimatize them to it. I want to do a little bit more research before I pull the trigger and put shrimp into the tanks with no heaters. So I did pick up 2 heaters through Facebook Marketplace, where they're like the 10-watt little heaters that is preset for like 78 degrees. So, or 5-watt heaters. I don't know. They're bettable heaters. I'm not worried about it. Even if they only raise the temperature to like 72, that's good enough for me. Let's see. And as it is, it's when it's a cold and damp day out, I bump up my heat. I know my landlord pays for the heating, but I'm not trying to abuse the heat being here. He's a really nice guy, but I know I could just jack my whole place up to 74 degrees, 75 degrees, and eat a ton of fuel because I don't pay for it, and get rid of all my heaters. But that wouldn't be cool to him. Fish Tropic says, hey, Captain, what does Metroplex treat? Gram-negative, gram-positive? Hold on. I'll tell you. I got Metro right here. Where is it? I got it in my aquarium box. Oh, I used to have it here. Shit. It fell on the damn floor. So looks like it's staying up like that from now on. Just picking up all the plastic shards so Molly doesn't get it. So let's see. It says use one level measure, including forever. I don't see. It doesn't tell you on the bottle. But let me put this somewhere. I didn't actually break the internal bottle where it's stored. I just broke the outside of it a little bit. So let me put these shards somewhere. Get out of here, Molly. She's a pain in the butt, I tell you. guess I could do a Google search on Metroplex to see what it treats, gram positive, gram negative. That over there. It looks like, hold on, I'm just reading this, is an effective treatment for several protozoan and anaerobic bacterial diseases. Cryptocurrent, it does not adversely affect the filter bed and is easily removed. Canoplex and Metroplex. It says it's both effective against gram negative, just like the Canoplex. I'm reading it right here. Treat bacterial disease with Seachem Canoplex and Metroplex. Canoplex and Metroplex are both powered antibiotics. Your medication, which is very effective against gram negative diseases. I'll finish reading the article over here for a sec. Gotta watch my time. 2:05. Got 15 more minutes that I could stream for, and then go pick up my son, and then I'll be back around like 3:30. Help him with any homework he has. Maybe I can hop on here around 5:30. Metro is gram positive. So Cano is gram negative then, based on what this says. It's always a good idea to supplement mention beneficial bacteria. Okay. Gotcha. Well, if you guys want to read about it, here it is. Here's the article that I found through Seachem or someone dealing with it. All right. What else have I been doing? Just trying to think. I already talked about moving the super red plecos and chocolate plecos out of the 18-gallon tote that's on the floor. There's only fancy guppies in the 18-gallon tote. I'll probably take the rest of the guppies out, and I think I'm going to move some shrimp from the 10-gallon that's in the corner over there into the tote on the floor. After I get the fancy guppies out of there, I'm going to do another gravel vac before I add the shrimp, though. And then I think I'm going to move that tote up there when there's only about a gallon of water up onto the stand right there temporarily, and to just breed more shrimp, give them another home to have shrimp in. Pretty much, let's see, how many tanks do I have shrimp in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks with shrimp in it. And it's a combination between cherry reds, maybe some blue velvets might have gotten in there, and snowballs from Jeremy from Sergeant Tanks, his snowball shrimp. I I don't know. Like I said, I might put it on that wooden table with the actually 18-gallon tote, right there, the lid right there. I might move that whole table out. And then my landlord this past weekend, while I was out with my son on Sunday, he tore apart an old um, built-in dresser on the wall or shelving unit, which had like quarter an inch good part. What is it? Jesus, I can't think right now. Good wood on it, so I might actually build a shelving unit that up, and that's out of 2x4s and the quarter inch or 1 inch plywood or 3/4 plywood. There's like 6 or 8 sheets that are probably 3x3s or 2 foot by 3 foot sheets. I mean 3x2s, 3 feet wide, 2 feet in depth, and I might just build a shelving unit out of those right there because I have 28 inches from that wall to that trim, the start of the inside trim, right there, or outside of it. So, HE Aqua says I'm shipping out shrimp today. Nice. Hey, Island Queen. Island Queen says hi, Captain, and everyone. Yep. Hello, hello. Don't mind me, Island Queen. I got about 6 more minutes till I have to get ready to leave to go pick my son up about 12 miles away. So with traffic, it's like somewhere between 10 to 20-minute drive, say about 15 max usually. Depends on who's driving slow for the day. Island Queen says, I just dropped my son off at school. Oh, okay. Cool. Island Queen says, hi, HC. Here's Molly doing her thing, looking for the plecos. Of course, Molly goes after the 75-gallon that's sitting on my dresser in the bedroom, which at one point I did have 125-gallon on when I was living at my parents' for a short time, filled with water. The thing didn't budge. So, yeah, 75-gallon will be just fine. The convicts, once they're done breeding, once I see the wigglers get a little bit bigger, where I can actually, they're like a half an inch or a quarter inch in size, I'm fishing all those guys out or all the babies, and I'm going to put them into the little like 10-gallon tote to let them further grow out till they get bigger, or even maybe another tote like the Rubbermaid on my floor. I have another one of those that haven't even been set up. And I might just set that up in my kitchen with the heater on it and a sponge filter. Let those guys grow out. Put a small light on it. Be done with that, and then the bigger convicts that I don't think will get eaten by the big boys in the 125. I'm going to throw them in there. I want to get the convicts out of that 75 in my bedroom because I think I'm going to actually make that a big for-profit tank and move shrimp in there. Have 3 different species of things: shrimp, plecos, and something else that won't go after the shrimp for being so small. Maybe another nano fish or something. Or it might just be plecos and shrimp. That sounds good too. I know I figured it out. There is 2 pairs of super red plecos on the 75-gallon that are breeding. Because I did add some more of the like coconut huts in there and the terracotta pots for meant for plecos. So there's like 4 of those terracotta pots in there. So they have plenty of space to get in, get out, do their thing. The male's actually in the pleco caves or the pots, 2 of them. So I'm sure there's eggs. I try to shine a spotlight to get past the pleco, but it's like it's covering the eggs up. So Queen says, I think you got too many tanks. You look like you're running out of room. MTS, don't mind this. This is cluttered. This is going to be pretty much 2 of the shelves for racks are going to have 10 gallons on them. I can fit 4 10-gallons sideways. Actually, I probably could do 5, but it'd be tight. I could only use sponge filters. I couldn't have any hang-on backs, which 3 of these right here do have hang-on back filters, but they're not currently running due to the amount of plants. I do check the check the TDS, make sure the water is good. Use one of the kits. Make sure there's nothing high, but they're so overplanted. The TDS meter does tell me that I'm right around 300 TDS for these 2 tanks. The 2 tanks that are heavily planted with the fancy guppies in it. I'll call my mom back on my way to pick up my son. So yeah, I'll have, if I get rid of the hang-on backs here, I'll have 10 on 2 shelves because each shelf can hold 1,000 pounds. The bottom shelf's taken up by the 55. There's a chance I may throw another 55. I do have the width. I think I have the width. I'll have to measure later to put 2 55s next to each other. Otherwise, I may just see if I can find another 75-gallon. Break this 55 down, put the African cichlids in the 75-gallon, add some more cichlids to it. But that's future plans. So this shelf right here is going to, this might be like a 5-gallon tank setup. Put like 10 of them on this, 10 5-gallons or something like that. For any fry grow outs from like the fancy guppies here, or any shrimp, stuff like that. So I want to have this rack nothing but tanks, because I can always move all the supplies and put it under where the sump is on the other side. So, and then that corner with that stuff, like I said, I do have the 40 breeder set up, my old stand. I think I actually, instead of keeping that stuff there, I'll put the 40 breeder stand over there, and I'll do 3 40 breeder high, or whatever can fit on a 40 breeder width, and go from there. Island Queen says, I'm just bugging you, laugh out loud. Yeah, I know you're bugging me. I only got 3 tanks going right now. I have a lot more than 3. Now, these 2 don't have heaters in them right now. I do have the heaters that I'm going to use for them. They just set up a snail tank, so I just throw food in there like twice a week. A decent amount of food to keep them happy. I don't care what the water parameters are in there. But I think I'm going to have to run, guys, because it's 2:16 my time. So I should go run and get my son. And that'll be it. So I hope everything looks okay. I'm just streaming right through the YouTube web browser, the Google Chrome web browser with, the YouTube or whatever. So, yeah. Later, Cap. I know it's a very short stream, but as it is, it's going to be in like the next 40 seconds. It's going to be 40 minutes I've streamed for. So, like I said, this is through YouTube itself, the website. I just want to get my second camera going and go from there. So take it easy. If this is your first time here, please like, comment, subscribe. If you don't like the video, tell me why. Leave it in the comment section below when this video uploads. And if you do subscribe, you're a new subscriber, make sure you hit the bell so you can be notified when I live stream or I put new content out. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate everyone that's in the stream. I appreciate all your support. And there'll be many more live streams coming from this point on. Knock on wood. That's me knocking on wood. All right. Take it easy, everyone. Bye-bye.